Hey there, welcome back. I am so excited to have you here with me today. Today, I'm going to be talking with you all about how to elevate your business operations so that you can attract an ideal client and create a sustainable business for the long haul. One of the most common things I hear when I'm mentoring other photographers is that they're either burnout, working too much, or feeling like they can't keep up with the workload. When wedding season hits, which we know it can be seasonal, things get a little crazy. Maybe you're following up on payments or you're trying to keep up with edits, but one thing after another can leave you feeling like you just can't keep up. Oh, and did I mention the emails? There are so many emails. My mentees have told me, and I can relate to this as well, that it's hard to remember where you came from in the first place. You wanted flexibility and freedom, and you wanted control over your business. But before you know it, you feel like you're just trying to keep up with the hamster wheel. You love capturing moments, you love taking pictures, being out on sessions, but the 99% of what you're doing right now is at home or at an office on your computer, keeping up with the business side of things. Photography is a portion of what we do, but the business is just as important. It's never gonna be 100% perfect, but I wanna help you get back on track so that you're focused more on doing what you love and only what you can do as a photographer, and having all the other side, the admin side, organized so that you can focus on what you love. So here are a few things that you can do to stay up to date and on point with everything during wedding season, or any season for that matter. Stay on point with client expectations. I know that sometimes you feel like, oh, it's not a big deal. I can just miss this deadline by a day or two. No one will notice. But I can assure you, your clients notice. They are waiting for their images. They're excited to see their photos. And so if you tell them a specific date, June 15th or 6 weeks from the wedding, make sure you do not miss that deadline. In fact, I suggest that you underpromise and overdeliver. Tell them June 21st and then deliver on June 15th. It's way better whenever the client thinks that they're going to be getting something at a later time and then they get a surprise in their inbox than anticipating that it's going to come and they never see it. So managing client expectations is huge. I learned very early on that if a client brings up a topic or says something that I don't feel like I can truly meet their expectations on, that I speak up. If I feel like when they say it, I'm thinking to myself, ooh, I don't know if that's a good idea, or I don't know if that's really going to pan out the way that they think that it will. It is so much better to communicate in advance and talk through that, make a different plan that we know will work, than to just say okay and leave them disappointed. So managing client expectations all around in terms of communication, client delivery, even just conceptual ideas that you know that you might not be able to deliver on, the more you can communicate and keep that as a two-way conversation, the better off you're going to be in your business. The next thing I want to talk about is payments. And I know this is a big topic and we can go into a lot of different avenues, but I want to focus on one thing, which is never missing payments. I use a client management system called Dubsado. Dubsado is incredible because I'm able to manage my workflows, my client invoices, and they can actually log into their portal to see our correspondence, their contract, and anything related to their booking, as can I. So we're all on the same page. But when it comes to the client payments, I want to make sure that no matter how busy I get, that I'm not missing their payment schedule. How do I do this? In Dubsado, when you create an invoice, you can set up what's called a payment schedule. In the payment schedule, you can outline clearly for the client to see when the payments are due. And if the client misses a payment, they get an automated reminder email. In my reminder email, it does say this is automated so that they know it's not coming from me directly, but it does say, hey, this is an automated email. Oops, it looks like you missed your payment. Please log on to Dubsado so that you can take care of that payment. It takes off so much pressure from me. I don't have to think about the payments. And in that awkward situation where someone does accidentally miss the payment because they're busy or maybe they forget, then Dubsado emails them automatically. If you are interested in acquiring my email templates, I do have that particular email outlined, as well as all the canned emails that I send to my clients. And you can find the link to our educational shop in the description below. Having a very systemized approach to payments ensures that you never have to follow up with clients, tracking them down And I also suggest that you potentially consider not accepting written checks anymore and instead move to ACH payments or credit card payments so that you don't have to lose checks or have your payments get lost in the mail. It's so much easier since I committed to that system and I haven't had any problems missing out on client payments. Maintaining type A level organization with your images is my next bullet point. This particular topic parlays from the actual shooting all the way through to the delivery of the client images. So what do I mean whenever you're shooting? When you're shooting, label your memory cards. We have 2 card slots in our camera, which I highly suggest so that if you end up losing one card, you have a backup. On my cards, I label them. I have my name, my phone number, and because I always shoot them as a set, I have each card, the SD and the QX card, both have the same number so that every time I'm shooting with those cards, they're a set. This prevents me from having to buy more memory cards in the end. When you're shooting, you also want to make sure that you're always keeping your cards on hand. So if you're at an event and you need to take a food break, or maybe you're running to the restroom, never leave your camera unattended. This is what I mean when I say type A level organization. It means that you're always thinking about your images and you're never risking something happening to them. Even sometimes if I get in an Uber or I'm driving home, I take one card out and I put it in my pocket. I don't know, what if I get rear-ended on the way home and I want to make sure that I have a card on me? That is the type of organization and forethought that I'm talking about when I say next level organization. So we get home with the images. What next? Make sure that you're backing them up right away. When you get home that night, you put those images onto your computer and you start immediately uploading them to the cloud. I don't suggest putting images just on hard copies at home. What if your house burns down? What if you have a hurricane or a tornado? These are the things that you have to think about whenever I'm thinking of saving my images. These are irreplaceable photos that your clients are entrusting you to photograph for them. So you want to make sure that you're always thinking about the what ifs. Once you get them backed up and on the cloud, then comes the editing. After the editing is done, you want to take those images, upload them to your client gallery. We use QuickTime and Zenfolio. Yes, we do have 2 systems that we use, again, thinking of backup. And then everything else, I just archive on a hard drive and I keep at my house for safekeeping in the future. In terms of keeping things very organized in the busy seasons, you want to make sure that you keep your gear in good condition. Always have it protected in a bag, especially during transit. You want to make sure that your gear is clean. Before we shoot, we'll wipe the front lenses. We also use UV filters on our lens covers so that if we bump into something or we drop the camera, oftentimes the UV filter will crack instead of your lens. To replace a UV filter, it's about $15 to $30, whereas to get your actual lens fixed, sometimes it can cost anywhere from $500 to $1,000, or worst case scenario, you have to get it replaced. And I have lenses that cost anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 in my bag. So keeping your lens clean, taking extra care of them, always make sure that you and your shooters know that you want to have those caps on them, and you just take really good care of your gear in that busy season. It's easy to get home from a wedding and just forget about it, put it in the corner, but when you get home, take that time to keep your gear in its compartments and organized and your batteries charged so that next time around you can just pick up your gear and go. I have this mindset that if someone ever calls me, worst case scenario, that maybe a friend has an emergency, or oh my goodness, worst case scenario, what if I ever forgot an event? I want my bag ready to go so I can grab it and run out the door. And the last point is going to be about keeping really strong communication between you and your client. Oftentimes, especially in the busy season, when your wedding day rolls around or your portrait session rolls around, you're trying to do everything that you can to avoid additional communication. However, I encourage you, always have a client meeting with your client before the event. Even if it's just to ask about any concerns or thoughts or ideas that they have. It's also nice to understand if there are any nuances in the family dynamics or things that the clients do or don't like, or do or don't want to do on their wedding day. By having that clear client communication, you're ensuring that that client will be happy because you have listened to them as they express their thoughts and concerns and ideas, and then you're able to follow through on that. Everyone is different. Every event is different. And you want to make sure that you're really listening and catering to who they are as people so that you can create the absolute best experience for them on their wedding day. I hope these key steps help you maintain an extremely high level of organization during your busy season or any season. Trust me when I say that implementing these organizational skills will become your new best friend and will make your business so much better in the end because of it. It will help you focus on doing what you love, which is interacting with your clients and taking pictures. We have so much access to technology, systems that we didn't even have when I started my business in 2008, like Dubsado, for example. I love Dubsado because it keeps me organized. That didn't exist when I started my business, and now it does. If you're listening to this, then I imagine that you are truly ready to up-level and elevate your business to where you want to go. Don't forget, if you want a link to my free pricing guide, you can find that in the description below. And we also have some really exciting things in the educational realm for our business right now. So please be sure to sign up for that so you can get on our mailing list and we can continue to update you in the coming weeks and months with more valuable content. Thank you so much for tuning in and have a great day.